Ah, there's our second bridge. So if you remember our second bridge, the critical thing of this second bridge right here was making sure that we hit the whistle stop. So as soon as we see that whistle stop up ahead, we want to make sure we blow that engine horn. So it's going to be right over here. And as soon as our engine passes this point, we're going to blow our horn for two reasons. Primarily for Cumberland Station first, and then the second reason for the actual stop of the crosswalk. So we want to make sure we do it twice, because there's no sense to drive through Cumberland Station here without blowing our horn. And so we're going to hang out on the outside to make sure we can see that switch there. And it looks like we are on track 3. Wait, what was this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 tracks here. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're in track 3. This is good news. So we're going to make steady progress here. I've got the bell on still, so the bell is just going to stay on for a little while. In fact, the bell is going to stay on until probably I pass all of this junk here and get myself onto a single track of these 2 tracks here, and that's the point where I'll turn off the bell. We're slowing down a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and increase my speed a little bit more, and that should get me up to speed, hopefully. Let's move this. What is this? Oh, this is on the outside? Oh, it is on the outside. Okay, well, let's get back in the engine with that one. We'll use camera 3 for that. Camera 3 would just be a little bit easier to kind of see what's going on here. So I actually like, if I could, just drive camera 3 as much as I can, or camera 2 as much as I can. Camera 2 is a little bit harder to see when you're going kind of fast where the whistle stop signs are. So I'm going to go ahead and let this roll on a little bit more. And once I pass that whistle stop sign, that's the point where I'm going to start blowing my horn here. So this horn is primarily to let Cumberland Station know that I'm driving on through. I mean, there's nobody out there right now in Cumberland Station, but you never know when there might be somebody out there, somebody waiting on the side here. And so we just want to make sure that they're aware of us, and they just know that we're train coming on through. And so I've been trying to get a picture of me in Cumberland Station, but I know I got blocked by trees the last time. So let's see if I can catch it this time in a much better viewpoint here. Stupid pole. All right, well, we'll see what I can do with that. There's our railroad crossing, and we're going to blow the horn here as well. And this is actually kind of the cool part. You can actually see the gate closing up ahead. So you're going to get to see the gate shut. There they go. It's almost like I'm recording from the ground here. The key thing with trains and crossings, you just want to make sure you're blowing that horn all the way through the crossing itself. And I'm going so slow, so I can understand why it's taking a long time. Once my engine and the other engine gets through, that's usually the point that you can turn off the bell and just kind of keep things moving from that point. So let's hop back in the engine here. I would love to be in the second engine rather than in this engine. I don't think there's a way to do it other than just maneuvering the camera a bit like this. This is really the only thing I can do, and I prefer not to be that close. I kind of want to be about here so I can kind of see what's going on, just weave around. So we're going to be going up to the 25-mile-an-hour limit at about 400 yards. The problem with this 25-mile-an-hour limit is the issue of I have to wait about a mile for that back end. So this back end way down here is about, you can see it there, it's quite a ways from the front, so it's going to take a while to get there. And it's actually just now crossing the first bridge, and it's just about to cross the second bridge. So it's definitely going to take a while before it even gets to that point. And I'm slowly speeding up, so that's good news. And I don't see any whistle stops, so we're going to just go ahead and zoom forward past that switch. And it says we got a green light according to the switch, so we are good. It says the next one might be red, so we're going to kind of zoom forward here. There's going to be a couple places where we're going to run into another grade crossing. So that's this one right here. There's a whistle stop sign right about there, right when I cross over. And from that point, everything's going to start getting a little bit easier to see what's going on there. And there's another whistle stop for this other grade crossing. And so that means these whistle stops are actually off-centered. So let me go back to that first one. This is actually, that whistle stop right there is for the second one. So the first one has to be actually right about here. There's the whistle stop sign, so we're actually just now driving through it. So let's hop back into that engine. And we'll start blowing our horn in just a second here. Once I get a little bit closer, I'm going to start blowing that horn. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. Oh, see, now it says we got a 20-mile-an-hour limit. And that 20-mile-an-hour limit is actually for this railroad crossing that's crossing down both sides there. So let's blow the horn now. So now we're going to cross over that second whistle stop sign, and we're going to make sure that we kind of have this right here in terms of the whistle stop sign. Ooh, that car nearly just drove right through that crossing. Better make sure they don't do that. Good thing I'm blowing my horn here for these folks. You know, AI, they tend to be bad drivers, right? And we're currently set on the right track. These singles here are going to be for the other direction, so it's basically going to say they can't go that way for right now. And here's our next whistle stop sign. So this is actually for the previous whistle stop sign. And the one we're blowing right now is for the one that's coming up. And you can see there's a third whistle stop sign right up there. So there's going to be at least 4 crossings we've got to deal with. Oh my god, I'm already speeding. What the heck is wrong with me? Good thing I didn't go too fast. There it goes. We're good. We're safe now. We're safe now. Ah, jeez. Well, I got a little bit of a point in terms of that speed limit. That sucks, but that's okay. We're okay. What I get for staring at whistle stop signs. Let's just go ahead and try to get through the crossing as best we can. And we're going to hope that for the best that we get enough points to cross over now. We're good there, and one more crossing to cross up ahead. This one looks like one of those signs that I have to repair. I'll wait until we're a little bit closer to it. We are golden. Hopefully I don't have to re-record this because I screwed up in that one little spot there. And let's check my map real quick. I believe I am good to go in terms of the bell. So I think I can just turn off the bell right now. So I'll wait for a second here and then I'll shut the bell off once I'm up ahead. Part of the reason is because there's a train coming. So I want to make sure I get the bell shut off here for that train. The speed limit had yet to change, and so we're still rolling along here at the same speed. At some point, it's going to get me my 25-mile-an-hour jump here. This is the point where I can turn off that. Actually, let's keep the bell on for right now. I'm going to turn off the bell once the last of the cars pass by, and the main reason for this is... There it goes. The main reason for this is the fact that I need to make sure that there's nobody on the other side of that train that might just be crossing over the train. So I want to make sure at least they can hear me safely driving this train here. This is actually a set of coal cars. It's kind of cool to see a bunch of coal cars here. Good picture right there. It's a long one too. Oh, there it goes. The speed limit just changed just now, so we're going to go ahead and speed up now and get this train moving along. There's our end of the coal car there. Let's see if we can kind of capture that. Make sure there's no whistle stop sign there. I think we're good. So let's keep it going. I'm going to go throttle 3 to get this moving faster here. And eventually we're going to run into the 20-mile-an-hour zone. So I'm just going to make sure I don't go too fast. I'm going to kind of stay under 20 just for a little bit. And it looks like we have a yellow light up ahead. Hopefully that yellow light won't stay yellow indefinitely. And hopefully we can get ourselves a green light going forward. Let's turn that bell off at this point. And at some point, we're going to come over a couple train crossings along the way. If we just go into camera 8 and just kind of follow the rail line here, we're eventually going to find the point where we run into a couple places here where there's likely to be a crossing, and it's just going to take a while to get there. Probably after a few turns, eventually we'll get to that point. There's no road that crosses over here yet, but there could be a road that just randomly crosses over with no point of anything. So there's the next town, and so this next town here would likely have a point here where there might be a whistle stop up ahead. So let's just kind of zoom ahead, see what we're looking at here for this rail line. My goal is to try to get this single to turn green before I even reach that single. So anything I can do to make that green would help this mission immensely. So the slower-ish I go, the better off it is for me. So I'm just taking my time to get to the top. Here we go. Okay, so by the time we get to this point, actually the single itself will be the point where we get to the railroad crossing. So that's good news. So let's hop back into that engine and just kind of get back out in the camera here, and we'll just kind of enjoy the ride. I feel like it's fall. Oh, it is fall. That's right. It's November 2017. I went back in time for this mission. So strange. This is a good shot right here, too. There's me looking out at the river. That was hilarious. I love that. That was a great shot right there. Yeah, so my train's slowly moving forward. And what's it saying here? A 35-mile-an-hour zone in 900 yards. So that's not going to affect me for quite a while. Let's see where my wonderful competitor is up here at the top. Did he finally get to this point? Where is he? I don't see him. He couldn't have gone that far. He's got to still be down this track somewhere. There he is. Okay, so he's only about halfway up this long path here, and at some point he's going to start going. So we have to deal with him because he's in front of us. So whatever on that. So we're going to try to hang back. Let me see what the back end of this rail car looks like here. Where are we? I think this one's already past the 20-mile-an-hour zone, so that's good news. So we should be good to go on the back end of this rail car to get this all the way up to 25 miles an hour. So we're just going to let this train kind of slowly ambulate to 25 miles an hour, and at some point we'll pass the 35 zone, and then at the 35 zone we'll have to wait for the back end to pass it, and then we can up the throttle in the meantime. So far one over the speed limit issue, so okay, not a bad deal. Not the end of the world yet. Oh, one thing I can do with camera 3 instead of hanging out here is I can actually hang out in the back of this rail car here. And this wouldn't be a bad place to hang out, right about here. But then, you know, I can't see the whistle stop signs when they show up, so maybe right here. I don't know. But then that's what I could do with this camera. Hopefully what happens. Yeah, that's kind of where it stops right there. Oh, and these fans is kind of cool. You get to see them turn on at some point. Crossing over that 30-mile-an-hour zone, we're looking for the 4035 sign. And what else are we looking for around here? We're looking for a red car parked on the side. We're looking for actually right about the point where we're entering the town there. And we're just going to pause the menu for a second here. We're going to go to the main map. And according to this, we should be... Oh, Narrows River Bridge. That's where we just crossed into, heading to Ellerslie. And then we've got to go through all of this here just to get to where we're going. So let's just save this here in the hopes that I don't have to repeat this over and over again. Once I get to the end of the game, I'm going to make sure I save this as well before I hop out of that engine. Because I ran into a couple glitches that saving it made a big difference. And reloading the game made a big difference. So I'm hoping for the best that it won't do that again. And I'm watching that speed limit. It's slowly creeping up to 25. So I'm going to try to keep this under 25 as best as I can. Love the camera. If only I can get like one camera to kind of circle around like this. That'd be kind of fun. Here comes our first bridge. Yay. So maybe I'll see if I can snap a picture of this bridge here. Not a bad picture. I've gotten better. So we're starting to slow down, so let's speed up here. 0.9 miles to the single. 1.5 miles to the 50 mile an hour zone. Now you know you've done this right is when you hit the 50 mile an hour zone, you get the heavy grade, and your train can actually make the heavy grade and can keep up with the 50 mile an hour speed limit. So we're going to see how well we did this here in this mission. It looks like the speed limit is speeding up here. Is that the whistle stop sign? No, that's our mileage post. Let's see what it says here. Definitely going up, so that's good news. Okay, good. I guess we won't need the window right now, so we'll shut the window. Our guy disappeared. Where did he go? He left the train. Okay, whatever. Since we're here, we might as well just walk out the front of the engine. This is where it gets to be kind of fun, that you can hang out here in the front of the engine. I wish I can just take the camera and move the camera here, and so that way you can kind of see what's really happening in the front of the engine. But it is really fun that you could do this and just check out the engine. Please don't ever do this. That would be terrible to do that, and just, you know what I mean? So I don't recommend doing that at all. So just keep that closed at all times and keep your hands and feet inside that engine, lest you get, hurt by a tree or something, And of course, best to stay indoors while you're doing it. We got a green light, so that's good news. That switch is on, not that switch, the single is a green light, so that's good news. We're going to be able to keep us going, and it looks like we now hit the 35 mile an hour speed limit. So let's go ahead and start heading up. We're going to set throttle 6 to get us there to that speed limit sign. And we're coming up on the whistle stop sign, so that's coming up shortly. I think that's it right there. That is it right there. Now, if you're looking at that whistle stop sign through the glass and you're not zoomed in, there's a good chance you'll actually miss it, because it's right here, right where the front of the cursor is, and you won't notice this unless you know it's there. And so you can easily see how you go, oh, something's right there, because it's all faded and whatnot. And right about there is when you see it. So, and then you're like, oh no, right? And in about 200 yards, that's where the crossing gate is. And so the whistle stop sign is really for the crossing. So we're going to make sure that we get that crossing at a good point here. This is the point where we're going to blow our engine. So some crossings like this one here does not actually have any actual crossings to stop cars. So this becomes very important to blow your engine like that. Or you blow your horn like that. That's what I'm trying to... Oh my god. Blow your engine, blow your horn. Oh my goodness, I'm so terrible. Anyway, so... yeah, so some of these crossings just don't have those types of abilities, and so sometimes camera 8 can be really helpful to kind of figure out where you might need to blow a horn in terms of just setting up the train and making sure that you get this set up. So there's another whistle stop sign coming up. I figured that was the case because we're coming up in the town of Ellerslie, and we want to make sure we can stop there as well, which is going to be this one right here. And then there may be another one up ahead, if I remember this right. See how far we might have to go for the next one. Looks like we might have to go all the way to that next switch, that next sign there, or the next single. Why do I keep calling them switches? I don't even know. Okay, we're going at a good clip, so I'm going to go down to 5, throttle 5 here, just to kind of make sure we're not going to exceed this too much. And we're already going to be heading into the 50 mile an hour zone anyways, and so it's in about a mile or so. This train will be hitting the 50 mile an hour zone, and we should be good to go at that point. There's the whistle stop sign right there. 13 miles away from the Sand Patch Summit. So far I'm doing good. So far this train's ambulating really good and rolling along really, really positively, I gotta say. Only one speed limit glitch, and hopefully I don't do that more. We'll have to keep an eye on that speed limit as they go along, especially when I start going downhill. Here comes our crossing. Pop our head out for this one. I just enjoy hearing the horn. You can see how fast this train's moving now. Pretty good. One crossing for this one house. Jeez. That's got to be terrible for that house to have to deal with this horn all the time, you know? Alright, we're set for at least about a mile. There might be another whistle stop sign a little ways down as we kind of catch up to other things down that way. My buddy here might actually pop back in mysteriously, so we'll see what happens. Oh, I know. It's because I did this, and then I did this, and he was sitting there. That makes sense why he disappeared. We're at 30 now. We got about 5 miles an hour to go here. Wait, 5 miles an hour? No, we got 0.7 miles to get to the 50-mile-an-hour zone. And what I'm trying to get at here, we have 5 miles per hour to get to the limit for this area here. There it goes. Okay, we're now at 50. That's good news. So let's go ahead and just keep the throttle moving, and we're just going to let the thing coast, going up slowly to 50 miles an hour. And we'll get there as we get there. And so our wonderful competitor up in front here should be... There he is. He's crossing over the first part of this, and so that's good news. So he's there, I'm there, so we got a good distance between the two of us right now. And so at some point he's going to start going through the sand patch section here. And my goal now is for him to get to right about here by the time I get to there. If he's here at this point while I'm there, I think I'm going to be in a good position to get to the end. There might be a couple points where I might have to stop, but we're going to hope for the best that we get a green light going all the way through as I speed up here, little by little. There is a good chance I could actually catch up to him. So I want to make sure I pay attention to that as well. Looks like a whistle stop sign up ahead. Oh gosh. Yes, it is. Okay, there is a whistle stop sign right there. So that must mean we're coming up on a station or crossing. Let's put this right back down here. It actually worked better right here. It's definitely a crossing. So let's go ahead and blow the horn. Nice area. I love this area right here. Another whistle stop sign. Good thing I stayed right out here. It's going to be extremely helpful for me. Now that I'm going faster, these whistle stop signs are going to be coming at me really quick. My speed's going to be kind of pushing things a little bit. Go ahead and blow the horn right now. I'm going to go to camera 2 for a second. We're going to try to get this picture right here because this is a fantastic shot right here of a train crossing over. Just need to make sure I don't hit any more whistle stop signs. I think I might have one more up ahead. Check speed limit 43. We are good there. And one more picture. Right on the edge of that field there. Oh, we're coming up on what looks like a... What is that there? I don't even know. 44. This looks like a repair station of some kind, or it used to be a rail station. Oh, I can turn the bell off now. So we gotta watch our speed limit here because we are starting to speed up really good. And now we're getting a downgrade here, so we need to just make sure we're on target with our speed limit here. And this wouldn't be a bad place to put on the dynamic brake right here. So let's go ahead and power this up, set it up for setup. We have to wait 10 seconds anyways for this thing to do a thing. And if we need to slow down, we'll slow down. I think it's going to naturally start slowing us down, so I think we're good. Yeah, it looks like we don't have to worry about it, so I'm not going to use it. I was thinking I might need it, so go ahead and turn our throttle back up to throttle 2 here. Let's see what we got. Anything up ahead? No, nothing up ahead for right now. Yeah, so it helps to have the dynamic brake on standby just in case you ever need it. Kind of like what I did there, just switching the throttle. So let's go to throttle 4. There's a whistle stop sign. I knew there's a thing up ahead here. And there's definitely going to be one of that single up ahead too, so I got to watch out for that. There's 2 whistle stop signs, okay. So that means there's going to be 2 crossings up ahead. It's going slower, so we're going to go to throttle 5. I feel like that was the place we stopped at once upon a time ago. And here's the other crossing right here. Turn off the bell. There's our single up ahead, and we have another whistle stop sign up ahead. So that must mean there's another crossing gate up ahead. 13 miles away from the Sand Patch Summit. My goodness, this is a long trip. But it's worth it, honestly. So if you do a good job and kind of follow along with the video here, you should also get to the summit yourself. You can actually see the train speed up when I zoom out and then actually slow down when I zoom in. It's really interesting. And there's another crossing up ahead. Leave the bell on until we get across that one. It's going to be right where the single is. Looks like I have a green light and a red light up ahead. Looks like a fire station over there. Okay, yellow light up ahead. Good to know. Make sure that guy knows that I'm okay. Extra whistle, right? We're going to go ahead and speed up even though there's a yellow light up ahead, and I wonder what that yellow light is for. It could be because the guy that's up there is actually having some trouble. He is. He's starting to slow down at this point. He's going to be stopping here, it looks like. And where is he? He's about a quarter of the way through. Turn that bell off. Let's see what he does. He's either going to go through the switch, not the switch, the single, or he's not. It looks like he's stopping. Oh wait, he has a green light. Okay, he's good to go right through this. So good for him. So he's going to go right through this one here. We're about that far away. So if you kind of take the distance here, once I go there, he should be hopefully down at this U point here. So let's see what happens. I'm going at a good clip, so this is excellent news here. Let's hope I don't have to stop this train for anything, because the grade here is really hard to work with, especially when the grade gets heavy. It gets really hard to work with. So I'm okay with not going 50 miles an hour. I'm okay with just sticking with the 40, 45, anywhere in there. And I'm hoping I'm at the right speed where I'm just going to slowly rise on my speed limit. I kind of wish I was still driving the GP38 because it'd be a little easier to tell how fast I was actually going versus you know, the actual feet per second thing versus the dial I've got up here, because the dial I've got up here, it's really hard to read sometimes. Okay, let's see what the switch says, or the switch, stop saying switch. Let's see what the single says. So if you notice the single up ahead, it actually says I've got two different singles. So let's just go ahead and zoom out while my train's going along here. And we're going to head over to that single real quick. We're going to be there before the train gets there anyways. So according to this, I've got a green light officially. And there's a yellow light for some reason. And I'm not sure what that yellow light is for. That's why I'm taking my time. And so that yellow light could be the next single after me. So we're going to watch this as the train rolls on through, how the single changes here. And it's probably going to be the yellow one that's going to change to red. And then the green one should still be green. So let's see what it says here as my train goes on through. There it goes. Okay, it's saying both of them are red. That's interesting. Okay, well now we have another one about a mile out. So it's probably because of that other train that's up ahead. And that other train's getting a little stuck. So if anything, we might actually get stuck at a single. So the fact that we have a yellow, it's a little concerning, but we did have some green. So I'm happy about the green. And we'll find out in another mile if we need to worry about that. It looks like another whistle stop right there for another crossing up ahead. And right around there, we're going to have to keep an eye out for this because this crossing is one of those don't have gates on them. There's got to be another one. Okay, it's right here. Okay, interesting. So it's two red. There's a red and a yellow. So there's a chance I might have to stop after the switch. The single. My goodness, the single. So let's see what happens once I get a little closer. There's our whistle stop sign. It came back just in time. That is excellent news right there. Now, the only reason I keep the single sign up ahead, I could just totally remove the entire HUD and just do this hopefully by just hanging out on the outside of the train and hoping for the best. But I'd rather have the chance to see where I'm going. So we're going to blow this horn right now. There it goes. That should help you with the horn. And we'll shut the bell off here. And we'll see what this other single does once I get a little closer to it. Go up to throttle 7 because we're starting to have a little challenge with the grade. We can only go up to throttle 8, and so that's the maximum speed we can get out of this. So we're giving it throttle 7 now, just to make sure we can get up the grade here. And this is probably both going to turn red, so let's find out what it does once we get through. Yep, they're both red. Okay, we got another yellow light up ahead. It's going to be a little tricky here. I'm a little concerned. Looks like another whistle stop sign up ahead. What could that one be for? The next crossing, I think. And we have a 25-mile-an-hour zone 2.2 miles away. I'm a little worried about that right there. I'm going pretty fast in order to hit that, so once I blow this here... I'm not going to be able to go the 2 miles out with this camera. I mean, I could, but I don't think I'm going to make it realistically. But we can always try while this train's moving. Let's see what happens. Gonna cross a bridge. At some point, my camera will probably get to the single before anything else. I'm going to go through another city, so there's another whistle stop sign just before that. A second one, and it looks like there might be 3. So there's the first one right there. There's the second one right here. And then we're going to be going into a bridge tunnel. So there's there's the third one right there. So it's either for the bridge or for another crossing just after the bridge. Yep, just after the bridge. And then we have a 25-mile-an-hour zone. What is this for? I don't know if that's legitimate. It seems like it's legitimate, so we're going to have to make sure we slow down when we get to this point. So actually, right about the part where we get to the bridge, it's going to be hugely important to slow this train down. Ah, the first whistle stop sign coming up. And actually, they're both back to back. That's kind of funny. This is actually kind of a cool thing right here. Love that. And you can already see the other one's right after it. Going to keep the bell on because we're going to be passing through the third one. And actually at the third one, that's where we're going to start slowing this train down. So let's go ahead and get this train slowed down to the 25-mile-an-hour zone. Just start dropping down our speed limit here. And if we do this right, we should be under 25 by the time we hit that bar up there, hopefully. Might have to put on initial reduction and get us there. Best thing I could probably use is the dynamic brake at this point, honestly. So let's try to see if we can get the dynamic brake on. We might make it without even using it. 27. Alright, we'll turn on the dynamic brake real quick. Just to make sure we get under 25 here. There we go. That should do it. And we're going to keep this at 25 for now and keep our train kind of coasting along at 24, 25. I'm not exactly sure what that speed limit is for, but we're going to just make darn sure that we're... Oh yeah, see, it changed right there. It changed right there on us. Okay, that was good news. So good call on my part. Okay, we're going to get our throttle pulled up here. I'm not sure where our next speed limit sign is, but it may look like we have to stop here 1.9 miles away. So I'm a little worried that we've got a stop coming up. What's going on with that other train? That other train looks stuck. he is definitely stuck right up ahead. So there's definitely going to have to be a stop because we're getting a little too close to him. Yeah, so you can start to see where the grade challenges start coming in terms of dealing with this. And this is where locking in the sand on this here starts to become kind of important to get this train moving. We have 1.7 miles to stop anyhow, so worst case, we can keep moving at this speed. I can't get any more throttle than this, so this will be fine. Throttle 8 to get us 1.4 grade, so I can work with that. While we're doing this, let's just see what's going on up there. I wish I could just cut across the map. I'm crossing another city here, or another village. Oh wait, this is a, what speed limit is this? 40 and 25, so we might have a chance to go up to 40 again, depending on where that singling is. Let's see. And I'm taking this the whole 1.5 miles on my camera, just to see what's going on up there. If I'm lucky, there might be 2 singles. Is it 1 or 2? Okay, it's only 1 single, so we may actually have to stop here for a while. So that's going to be unfortunate if we do have to slow down and stop there. So we're just going to kind of coast to 1.4 miles, and we'll see if we have to stop or not. If we do, we do. And that'll be the challenge of just trying to get this train moving if we had to stop. So we're going to see what happens when we get a little closer here. The bell is still on? It is. I don't know why it was still on. Okay. And so this is going to be the point where we're going to need the lead axle stand to be on and the stand option to be on as well. And we might have a few points where we have to stop like this, so I'm going to play this by ear as best we can. And so for slowing down, we're going to probably want to slow down, oh, I don't know, maybe 700 yards out. That should be enough to slow down a 20-mile-an-hour train. Because I know at 50, it would probably take about a mile to stop this train. So we're going about half the speed. So just to make sure, we'll start dropping the throttle down little by little. And plus, I'll still get points for it, so good deal, right? And if we're lucky, and we hope for the best, that other train will start moving and get us out of the way. So he's moving now, so we might have a chance. If he moves far enough through this light here, we might have a chance to kind of not have to deal with him. It looks like there's another train on the other side coming through, so we're going to have to keep an eye out for that guy. And the other bridge is coming up, so let's see what happens when he gets the back end of his car through the light there. We might get lucky and that might turn yellow and not have to actually stop, so I'm going to wait and see here. His back end just got through. In fact, he might have to get through a whole nother switch. A whole nother single, I mean, is what I'm trying to say. So where's the next single after this? He's going to have to get to here, which his is green. Oh, there's the yellow. Okay, good. It was him. I was getting a little too close to him, so that's good news. So I'm just going to coast here at 8, throttle 8 at 20 miles an hour. I don't need to go any faster than this. This should be fine. Hopefully not have to stop at the next one. It's going to really be very dependent on what's going on up ahead. So hopefully he'll get through that green zone and just keep going. And if you've been doing good, you'll be actually going about 20 miles an hour just like I am here. And this is pretty good for 1.5 grade right now. So we know where I am here, so let's keep an eye on this guy. He's got to be going about 10 miles an hour here. And his is green, so if he gets through that one, he should hopefully be good to go to get to the next single, which for him is yellow. And then the next one after should be red, and so he may have to stop at that next one. Oh, it's still yellow. Okay, good. So he may have a bunch of yellows going through. So I'm going to try to see what I can do to kind of maintain my speed here. And there's no speed limit change yet, so I don't know what's going on, but there should be a point where I can go to at least 40 miles an hour. So this is the tricky part of Sand Patch Grade, of trying to delay yourself as long as you can in order to successfully get through these singles without having to stop the train. If you can avoid stopping the train, it's actually better for you than anything else. And so the next one is red. We got a red single, 2.2 miles. That's the one that he just drove past. I'm not going to worry about going too fast. 2.2 miles at 20 miles an hour is just going to take a little while to get through. And that's the one that he just got through. So we're going to hope for the best that he can get through that other single up ahead right here in time. So he had to get to here. This is where I was hoping he would actually be there before I got there. But it doesn't look like that's the case. And so I might actually get to the point where I'm going to run into this single before he gets all the way through. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that single as best we can. And as we get closer and closer to it, we're going to have to look at possibly stopping the train this time. And unless we get lucky and get a yellow, if we get a yellow, he's going to be going all the way through. If anything, I could actually slow the train down now to ensure I don't have to stop the train. And that's one option I could do. I'm going to try to snap a picture up here. This is actually a fantastic picture with the river there, but I'm actually going to want to try to snap it from the other angle while I'm turning the other direction. But I won't have to worry about my speed limit for a little while. In fact, the grade's starting to drop, so my speed limit should be dropping with it. I'm going to drop down to throttle 7 just to play it safe. See how much of that curve I can get here. I know I'm going to have like 1,000 pictures by now. See if I can get this right when I start turning. There we go. That should do it. Okay. So we're now 1.4 miles from that single up ahead. Let's see how he's doing getting through his own single. Oh man, he's not even anywhere near there. He's got a long way to go. Not too long, but he's got a long way to this single. So he's about, I don't know, maybe a mile away from that single. So about a mile and a mile. So we're going to hope for the best that I can get through this single just as well as he can get through that single. So we're going to just start slowing this train down little by little just to make sure, in case we do have to stop, we can at least get through it without stopping completely. So if I even get down to 15 miles an hour or 10 miles an hour, I will work with that. I'd rather keep the train moving than have to deal with trying to stand the wheels. So we're going to see what happens here. And in fact, I can actually turn this on just to make sure I don't have wheel slip issues. So let's see what happens. We're now down to 17 miles an hour, so... Oh, that train coming through, so we gotta get my bell going. So let's get my bell on here because the other train is about to come around the curve here. There he is. Turn on the bell, and we'll leave this bell on, and we'll just let it stay on for a little while. Until that train gets all the way through between my train and that train. How's he doing? He's coming around that last two curves. And he should be going through any minute, and I might actually have to find myself stopping, so yikes. Another good picture. .9 miles an hour, 14 miles an hour. I don't know if we can get through in time. Hopefully we won't have to stop. But I hope we'll see what happens. If this train slows down to 10, I'm going to work with it because I'd rather be down to 10 as this guy goes through. He's coming around the curve. So there he is now. So he's got to go through one more and then get to the back end of the back car through. And he's got a long train to do this. And so my single is coming right up here. And I'm almost on top of my single. So I'm going to slow this train down even more. And we're going to try to hope for the best that he gets through before I have to stop. I might actually have to stop though and wait out his moving. I'm going to check again at about a half mile. Hopefully in half mile he's going through the single. If he is, I might be able to make it without stopping. And actually there's a chance at this throttle speed I may actually stop the engine. So we've got a couple issues here coming up already. Let's go check in with him one more time. He's coming around the last curve, so that's good news. He's going to be going right through that single right now. So yikes and yikes. Half a mile for me, half a mile for him. Which means there's a chance I can get there depending on how slow I start going up the grade. Yeah, so folks, if you're doing sand patch grade here for fully fueled, this is really how you would want to deal with the singles. Preferably, if you didn't have to stop, you can kind of measure out where you are versus the engine in front of you and hope for the best that you can kind of get through it, like what I'm doing here. Anything you can do to delay the engine from rolling forward is anything you can do to keep this train moving. So we're hoping for the best that I don't go to a complete stop as I kind of get to that single there. He is now crossing through his single, so we are good. We are in a good spot here. We have to wait for his back end of the back car to cross as well. So I'm going to try to slow down at least to 5 miles an hour, and then I'm going to try to start speeding up this engine in order to hopefully get through the single there without stopping, if I'm lucky. If I go through it without stopping, I'm going to end up with the issue of I'm probably screwing up my score. So let's hope for the best. I don't want to slow down anymore. This is good enough for me. 500 yards is really where I'm going to have to definitely slow this train down. So, yikes indeed. We have 200 yards on my part to get his engine all the way to that single, and he has a long train, so it's probably going to take him about as long to get his train through as it would to get me there. So let's go ahead and go to throttle 4. We're just going to slow this train down a little bit more. Hopefully not going slower than 5 miles an hour. Keep an eye on what's going on the other end here. It's about halfway through at this point. We just need that back car to get through, and everything is good for me and him because he's going to get all yellow at that point. 6.1. Yikes, 5 miles an hour. I'm going to be cutting it really close here. I am really going to be cutting it close. I don't want to try to go any slower than 5 miles an hour because I might actually need to use sand for this. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll go down to 4 if I have to. Let's just drop it down to 4 miles an hour if I have to. Because I can see the single right up ahead. Coming right around the curve here, so yikes and yikes. Let's hope for a green light. Or at least a yellow. If I can get a yellow, that would be great. He has, I don't know, about 15 cars to get through here. Come on, get your train through, man. 400 yards, and he's got just a little bit more to go, man. It's just really nerve-wracking right now. Alright, so this light should change any second now to yellow, and we can get this train moving again, if we're lucky. I'm going to let this go down all the way to 4 miles an hour, and then at that point we're going to speed up because I don't want to have to stop anymore. This is a good speed right now, so 4.2. I should be getting a yellow light right now. His back end of the back car just got through. Let's speed this train up. Let's go. Let's hope for no wheel slip here too. We're just going to start speeding up this train little by little. Take our time. No rush in this because we want to get him moving down through his next single, or else I'm going to get stuck with the next single here. So we're just going to go throttle 5, and we're going to let this speed up until there's a point where I kind of reach a plateau. And his next single, he's going down. I don't know if he's going faster, but we're going to find out here. Where's his next single? There's his next single there. Next single is still green. So he's going to be able to go through green, and then he's going to start getting some yellow out here. Let's go out to where I'm stopping. The stop point is green for him, so he should be good to go through. And then he has a red light there, another red light up ahead. There's a couple points where he has a couple red lights to deal with. So he's going to be the one going through all of the red lights, it looks like. And then there's his yellow. So he's got a couple yellows to go through. And anything I could do is just take my time, no rush. I don't need to be at 25 miles an hour yet. So we're just going to coast our way back up to 10 miles an hour here at throttle 5. And that will hopefully get him moving as quickly as possible through some of those other singles and get me a green single instead of a yellow single. So we'll see what happens. The next one should be red one way or another. Looks like we're stopping at 8.1 miles per hour here. So we're going to coast through the single at least to see what's next. See how far out we are too. Okay, there's no single after this, so I don't know what that means. There should be a single coming up. This is strange. There is a single that's up ahead. He's the one who drove through it. So what does this mean for me? See, the other one's red, so I know that. So that's at least a couple miles out from this point. And I just need to make sure that he gets through his own single, which is currently green now, so that's good news. So as long as he gets through that single, I should be okay with the next single that's ahead of me. So I'm just going to take my time, make sure he gets through that next single, and then just kind of work up from there. I don't know if I'm going to go to 8.4. We'll have to find out. Oh yeah, it's moving to 8.4, so that's good news. Yeah, I think we'll keep throttle 5 for now. So I'm secretly wondering if I turned off the single gauge. Oh, there it is. Okay, 2.5 miles away for the next single. Now all we have to do is make sure he gets through his own single in time for me not to have to slow down for that one. So we're just going to coast at 8 miles an hour if we have to, just to make sure he can move himself. And that single should turn yellow. Once it turns yellow, I think we'll be good to go to start speeding up at that point. That means it's just going to be a long trip right now of just enjoying the scenery. In fact, I could probably just walk away, do some exercise, take a walk and whatnot, and come back to this train. It probably won't even be on 10 miles an hour. He's almost at the next single. And I think these singles are separated by 2.5 mile distances. So next one's yellow, which makes sense. His one after that should be also yellow. And then that's when he's going to get the red after he goes through the curves. There's his red right there. So as long as I can get to my red before, actually, as long as I get through all of my reds before he just gets me stuck waiting for these two here, I should be good to go. Now I don't know actually, honestly, can he cross over here? Well, yeah, he can. So it's entirely possible he can go down this yellow here. It's entirely possible that's the yellow I'm going to go through as well. And so we might actually be going on this outside track rather than the inside track. I didn't think of this. Let's see what it says here. Now that one's red. That's interesting. Another red there. Huh. Well, it's almost at the end, so that's good news. 11 miles away. As soon as that thing turns yellow, I think we'll be good to go. Oh, what's that? It looks like there's a 30 mile an hour zone up ahead, too. Yeah, at the same distance. So, one way or another, we're gonna get stuck going 30 miles an hour. Which actually is a little bit faster than what we're going right now. So, he's already going faster than I am, so that's good news. So I hope you all can kind of understand why I'm going this slow, right? It's better to let an engine go slow, take your time, instead of having to deal with the sand and the wheel slippage. So whatever you can do to avoid the wheel slippage is all in your favor. So do what you can. Check on his progress. Did he make it through? Oh, that's my single. Okay. There he is. Okay. He's getting through it. So he's about to pass the green light right now. So I think we're good. Once he gets past that, once he starts getting his cars through, we should be good to go in about 2 miles. And then we can just roll on through. And so, by the way, there's a what in the world? Did I miss a whistle stop up back there? I think I did. Or there just was not one. Wait, there it is. Oh, I missed the whistle stop. That's hilarious. Okay, lower horn. By the way, something to tell you here is we're going to have to go through this to pick up all of these little things that are randomly strewn throughout the level. So what else can I do, right, in order to find all this stuff here? We just got to deal with that. And so one way or another, we're going to be taking a set of engines up the sand patch grade to go and find each and every one of these areas that we can find of those little icons and little signs and everything. Turn our bell off. I don't think we need it. And actually, we'll go to camera 8 for a second. There may be another whistle stop sign up ahead. Maybe not. Okay, I think we're good. That's good news. So let's go to the main map. Hit save here real quick to make sure the game saves. Let's go to the full map. Let's see where, not this map, the other map. Oh, here we go, map. So we're currently here at Falls Cut Tunnel. So we're going to be going through a tunnel, it looks like. He's probably over in Glenclough or Foley Overlook, one of those two. No, he's got to be in Foley Overlook. So we're almost there. We're about halfway at this point from where we started, Cumberland Station here. We came a pretty good long way. And of course, there's still more to go to. So, yeah. I heard there's at least 80 miles. Where's my train? I'm like, what the heck? Anyway, so I heard there's at least 80 miles of railroad here that you can drive through just to deal with all those little things on the side of the road. He should be almost all the way through the single here, and I can hopefully speed up. It's so nerve-wracking here, but I can't believe I did it. I can't believe I rolled on through at 4 miles an hour. I was a little worried I might have to turn on the sanding at 4 miles an hour, but it looks like I was going fast enough for it. We're almost at 9 miles an hour here. Come on. Get us through so we can do a yellow light here, man. I don't want to have to stop. Okay, he's on the back end of his cars. His car's just almost through. If anything, we can just stare at this until he goes through. And that should change me to yellow, and then this one will be red. Once I get through the yellow, I can kind of figure out what to do once I get to this point here. It looks like he's going pretty fast, so that's good news. He's probably going 30 that whole way. There's going to be a point where he can go a bit faster too, and that's going to help me immensely once I get there. I don't remember which point that is, but it's somewhere maybe after this, probably around where the bridge is up here. So we'll have to play it by ear. It should be all the way through now. There it goes. He's all the way through finally. So let's speed this train up a little bit and get us a little bit faster. We got 1.7 miles to go through, so I will get this train up to 10 miles an hour and just keep this going. Oh, it does say 30, but oh, okay, I get it. I was like, what? Why does it say 10 miles an hour? 10 miles to the top of the summit. Yeah, we're just going to gradually get up to the 25 mile an hour zone. And that's going to help me. And by the way, if you set up your engine right, you should be able to do this in throttle 6 and get your train going, and even in throttle 5 getting your train going. This is how you know you got your train set up right, because you can actually get to 25 miles an hour on this and pretty much beat out all the other trains. And what I don't want to do is I don't want to get stuck behind them if I can avoid it. So anything I could do to just kind of coast along through these switches and the singles and all the other trains on the track, the better it is for me. Oh, you know what I think I'm missing? Go back in here. No, these are on. These are exactly what I want. Oh, you know what? I think I left Did I leave these on? I swore I turned these off. That's interesting. I think the game turned it on. Interesting. Well, that's interesting. I remember turning these 3 off. Or were they supposed to be on? Oh, no, these were right. They were supposed to be on. Okay, I'm good. Never mind.